Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of Stroth Consultech. Having been running this organization for small and medium businesses for last 5 years, helping them to grow, stabilize, and rationalize. With this initiative called as Hatke, we are talking to various business owners who have looked at their business in a different way in the current state of lockdown or coming back to the new normalcy from the lockdown. And we have a privilege of having young blood, I would call it, a young entrepreneur, Pranav Pitti, who is one of the leaders in the Pitti Polymers Private Limited. So great to have you, Pranav, on this platform.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Shirish.
Right. So wonderful to really see that even if there is a lockdown, there is a transformation, and then slowly you'll see that opening of around 35% in manufacturing slowly starting. How is
Sure.
the way that you look at it, Pranav? Is it a challenge? Have you felt that as a challenge, or I think you were eased out a little bit, right? Or how do you?
Yes. So we do see it as a challenge, especially on the manpower front. Uh, Getting people to come back from their villages. A lot of them have gone to their villages during the lockdown. That has been a bit of a challenge. The schedules from customers have started picking up a little bit. So now catering to that schedule with the limited manpower at hand is a bit of a challenge. Having said that, we actually produce some of the parts which come under essential products. So we actually started our manufacturing about now 6 weeks ago. So
Okay.
it's been almost 6 weeks since we've been in production, and things are coming to a certain level of normalcy as far as the staff is concerned. We are almost back at full strength. Hopefully by next week we will be.
Wow, I think that's definitely like almost a turnaround to come back, at least for the operations, if not in the market that you see that kind
Right,
of a flow happening. So how is
right.
the market reacting? Are you seeing some difference due to, say, specifically in China, things happening in China?
Yes, I mean, some of our customers have started talks just in terms of moving the business out of China. Perhaps India, being a supplier from India, do stand a chance there. Nothing is, of course, has been awarded to us yet, but we are hoping that this is the beginning of certain situations like this that sort of award or help us get business which may be transferred over from China to countries like ours.
Right, right. So I think that's a great opportunity where you would see some upswing of the business due to additional products or solutions coming your way.
Yes, it's a mixed bag because some of the Indian OEMs that we cater to, the volumes have been,
Gone
I mean,
down.
the orders are actually close to zero at the moment
Mm.
since the lockdown. And then there's certain situations where we are flat. The rise in orders is yet to be seen. So I think the next couple of months will give us a better sense of where we are headed.
Mm.
Uh, but that being said, I think we would do well to arrive at a similar sale or turnover as the last financial year, given that we've already lost a couple of months this financial year.
All right, all right. And how do you look at use of technology as such in the parlance of being invested in technology before, maybe leveraging it now and eventually for future?
I think the focus is increased even through the lockdown. I mean, there's so many situations where we are realizing that we are able to complete meetings by having video meetings instead of actually
Hmm.
physical meetings. And sometimes it actually makes more sense because you're saving so much time in traveling. And if done effectively, I think today technology has enabled us to sort of be almost as effective through video calls as we would be through physical meetings. So I think we ourselves would like to invest more and more in this kind of structure, which we haven't. We've kind of run things more traditionally in manufacturing, where physical presence at the factories on the shop floor is a must. I think that's still a must, but there are certain things which can now be sort of almost that transition needs to happen where we do more things online.
Right, right. So the maybe a realization of being more smart in manufacturing, bringing those elements of IoT, industrial Internet of Things. I think those are
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely. I think IoT, also having a lot of video conferencing sort of situations where even with the plant or with other customers, etc., those are becoming realities. Customers are talking to us because I had a call with one of our customers, and I said, potential customers, and I said that how do you propose to conduct an audit now that a plant visit is sort of
must to
a
have.
bit of a question mark? And they
Mhm.
said that yes, I think maybe what we would like to do is for you to give us a video tour of your plant rather than us visit you. So maybe in a way, I know it a video tour maybe doesn't give the same level of feel that would
Visit
sort of
that,
be
yeah.
there if they were to physically visit, but it comes as close as is possible at the moment. And so I think the ways that people are going to do business now are going to change, and this may be a permanent change as well, not just something that lasts a few months.
Right, right. So complete movement into a virtual walkthrough for an audit, which otherwise was must to have a couple of people either traveling this way or that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then it reduces cost, it builds up the efficiency, it gives a time for planning, and it becomes just in time, right?
Absolutely. And also, many a time people schedule with customers, you know how it is, they don't always have the time or the availability to visit you immediately. But by way of things like this, sometimes it may actually help expedite the process where they are sitting in their offices without having to book a flight ticket or anything. And we give them a video tour, and sometimes the decision can be more immediate for them as well, because it's not really costing them anything. It's a little bit of time taken out, but other than that, there's no real cost to it.
Yeah, so this HATK is where HATK stands for health, attitude, technology, engagement, and knowledge. So I think you have hooked on to knowledge, technology part pretty strongly, and knowledge in the form of maybe educating the customers. You have customers abroad also, right?
Yes, we export to both Europe and America.
Okay.
We are all sort of in a very similar situation where they are also dealing with the same things through the lockdown that we've been dealing with here. Uh, that being said, I think there's a certain degree to which both the customer and us have already been sort of hooked on to technology.
Hmm.
So, you know, we've for example, with a couple of the customers, we anyway have a weekly Skype call. So that continues to happen. It's almost like a year and a half worth of Skype calls. Feels like we are sometimes closer to that customer sitting in the US than we are to customers in Pune itself.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
just because of the frequency and the effort put in by both sides. So sometimes I think these are things which have already been implemented prior to lockdown, and it's just that the focus is going to be more so now going forward. I think earlier all those people that were a little reluctant to do a video call or even use technology in an unconventional manner will now look to start doing that. It's almost like a mobile phone situation where I think 15 or 20 years ago it was the case of it being optional, and now everyone has a mobile phone, and I think that's sort of what's going to happen with Zoom calls as well.
Right. The working from home kind of a culture is more, or scenario is more common for IT, or remotely
Right.
working kind of a scenario. But how does it work for you as a manufacturing unit? Are people working remotely? Maybe the management above some portion of it.
So, as far as people that are directly related to the production, it's difficult to work remotely.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are some functions which we have been working remotely. For example, even sales and marketing. At the moment, customers again are not really open to or willing to, of course, have physical meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So this is time that is being used more for research, sort of doing all those things which one needs to be doing, but tends to ignore. So we are trying to. So for example, buyers, our purchase department is looking at how we can save on costs, or how we can do things more efficiently. Sales and marketing teams are looking at what other customers can we look at, what other product areas can we look at. They're also working with our tooling or new product development teams on enhancing our existing toolings. So they're sort of working, on a cross-functional kind of basis, and working remotely. Also, personally, I'm working remotely at the moment as well, and I haven't found that to be a problem so far. Of course, eventually physical meetings, physical plant visits, etc., they are unavoidable. But I think this has also opened our eyes to being able to save time where we can.
As a possibility, it has, because of we getting completely pushed back to the wall by this natural force. I think
Absolutely,
it has eventually come out, and I think it has worked as a definitely boon, I believe.
absolutely.
Good. So I believe what you are saying is that use of the opportunity that you have, time is in our hands. The efforts that we need to put towards either our own strategy or eventually for the customer strategy. So focus on marketing, sales to really bring stronger products, differentiated products.
Right.
Something that we have not been giving to the existing customers to build those rapport and get those brownie points. Right, I think that would be the way that you are touching base and connecting with the customer.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. So now talking to a different theme called as lean manufacturing, where you have lean ways, where you find out waste in the system or a process where whatever is not getting paid for by the customer is absolutely waste, right? So do you think your company has come out a little bit or largely lean, where those wastages have got identified and you found out optimized way of doing the same thing in a better way?
So I feel like that's something that we need to further improve on. I
Mm.
so far don't feel like we've really been able to,
Exploit that kind of
yeah, optimize our processes or become leaner during this phase. Yes, I do feel like initially when we just started up the plant, we were working with, hypothetically, let's say 40 or 50% of the staff as
Mm.
compared to the 100% that we are used to. And maybe each staff member was pulling along or pulling the weight of what other staff members would typically do. So in
Okay.
that sense, there was that realization that, maybe we are a little bit, we need to be a little bit leaner than we are. But in terms of being able to analyze uh, where we can reduce wastages, in fact, I felt like, of course, now with the corona situation, there's further processes which have got added to the whole, whether it's our own people entering the plant or anyone from outside. So in fact, I would say to some extent the cost has actually gone up in terms of, you know um, the
Goodness.
social distancing while entering the plant. Also, the number of people allowed to sit in a vehicle and come to the
Mm.
factory. In
Mm.
terms of use of sanitizers and gloves and masks. So there's new processes or new costs which have sort of added up. I mean, they are not very big costs, but at the same time, everything adds up. So at the moment, I feel like we haven't really been able to cut costs really. I think it's in fact been the other way around a little bit.
Right, right. At least, I see an awareness of being cautious of all the cost elements, maybe small,
Yes,
anything which is hitting a pocket.
Right.
has to
Uh,
be absolutely, looked at with a lens.
Yes, I mean, there's things that we can do better. I mean, we would like to optimize our production to a point where our production efficiencies or our rejection percentages and things like that are, that's always a continuous process. But I wouldn't attribute that necessarily to the present situation that we are dealing with, which is due to the coronavirus. I mean,
Mm.
that's something that we would have or are working on irrespective.
All right. So, kind of a typical question. What was that was keeping you awake before the lockdown? Uh, something that is bothering or something that, oh, tomorrow I'll do it. And now, in the current situation, is there something that keeps you kind of up, or you are kind of cool?
I think all of us, I think, in general, have found a lot more time
Uh-huh.
to sort of do things that we otherwise somehow don't find the time, or maybe it's poor time management at some level. But I've used this time to sort of actually get back into reading a lot, uh,
Wow. Okay.
which is something that I kind of had let go of, because you're working through the whole day, and then at the end of the day sometimes it's easier to just turn on the television and watch something rather than
Reading a book.
really
Mm.
grow your information base. And that's something that I've been doing a lot. So of course, being at home with family in a way where it's uninterrupted by phone calls and things like that, especially in the first half of the lockdown. That was nice. And then being able to sort of do things which you otherwise don't do. So this is kind of at a personal level. At a professional level, we've already started doing a few things, working on certain things, which again get sidetracked when during a regular sort of
Operations professional.
operations when they're on, which is now we have started focusing on making our brand identity more uniform. So these are things
Wow.
which we were sort of working on. We have different product groups, each of which had a different theme or color scheme to the brochures. So I'm just giving you a small example, but now the idea is to make everything more
Consistent.
uniform, more consistent. We are also looking at very soon getting our whole system or our information database on an ERP system, whereas a lot of what we've been doing so far has been, other than the accounting bit of it, accounting packages is online on ERP, but other than that, everything is run off of Excel files.
Okay.
So now we're trying to sort of get that also on an ERP system. So these are certain things that we could focus on in the lockdown. So it's been a good use of time actually.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, do you think that you will take all these best practices that you got, best thoughts that you got, where you got time for self, time for introspection, time for looking at the processes, may not have been changing it for a while, but at least realize that, okay, this takes, maybe this is the bottleneck. This I have to change. Maybe I'll wait for an opportunity. This customer is not so profitable, so, or this product line is something that I need to change. So that realization you will carry after, also, there is a sense of normalcy, new normalcy that is coming. So that will benefit your organization, right?
Absolutely. I hope I can remember all the things that I sort of introspected on during the lockdown. Because it's so easy to get caught back into that
In the
whole
operations. Mm.
rut of things. That I truly hope that some of the things that have dawned on me or become or had that clarity of thought stay with me. I mean, that's the idea. Yeah.
Mm. So, Pranav, do you? Have a sense that you bring some kind of a knowledge from abroad back in India. Is that a right guess that I have?
Yeah, I spent about 8 years in the US. I did my undergrad there, and then I worked there for about almost 4 years.
Wow. Mm.
So that was a good phase, a great learning experience, great life experience actually. And now I've been into manufacture of plastic products for 12 odd years. So I mean, yes, it definitely helps to have had that experience, and I did and continue to try and sort of build on that with the business here as well.
Right.
And it's always good to sort of go back because we have business in the US. So now I do have the opportunity to sort of travel frequently to the US
Hmm.
for work, which kind of helps me maintain that connection with some of the people that I got to know really well when I was there.
Wonderful. I think that connects you well with the state of the art things that are happening in the west side of the world, and bringing them back as a bridge, at least a mind bridge. There might be some difference, but I think the whole gap, as the way that we call it, between the east and the west, or between India and say US,
Right.
slowly you will find that if at all we had supercomputers there, you have supercomputers here. If they have automation there, we have automation here. If they can make electric cars, we can make electric cars. So how is the feeling? You have some patriotic feeling there, or
So I actually think we do things more precisely a lot of the times. I mean, I don't want to sort of
it's a pride?
is
Yeah.
anyone, but at the same time, I feel we as a culture tend to do things. Uh, we are mostly 100% engaged. We don't look at the watch when we're working, and if something needs to be done, it needs to be done, and there's no real. And a lot of the times, we put our professional requirements before personal needs, so we don't really, you know, look at that side of things, and that's a big difference because for us here sometimes, especially as entrepreneurs, there's no real concept of a weekend also a lot of the times. In the
Mhm.
West, people will, if it's Friday afternoon, it's a lot of the times it's time to go home. So
Take a break. It's my
uh,
Friday. Yeah.
yeah, so in fact I think the work ethic and culture is superior here in India, and I mean than the US for most certainly, and Europe, I mean we don't even need to. I think even the US is far ahead of Europe as far as work culture goes, because I think with Europe it's like three big holidays through the year, and so between holidays and people coming back and catching up with work, it's impossible to really make the same kind of progress. So I think India is pretty well placed as in terms of work culture that way.
But having done this kind of an introspection during the time that you had this free time, do you think the employees in PT, they were looking up to Pranav as a leader, they have been able to get what they are thinking, or you've been up to the mark for with what thinking that you wanted to impart, or how is the balance?
So actually, I haven't really been able to communicate what I've been thinking to them yet. Uh,
uh,
it's kind of been a little bit more,
Inside you?
operation based. It's been more just executing the task in front of us. Also, it's been that sort of phase where we are kind of getting it all back, putting the pieces back together. It was like the lockdown was so sudden, and then everyone sort of dispersed everywhere. And now I feel like there's some sort of calm being restored to the operations, where people are coming back or have come back and settling back into their whole schedule and routine. So I haven't really been able to share my thoughts through this through the
Well,
last couple of months with them.
I think that would be they would be maybe eager to, and you also could be eager to really share that, and that will be bringing a transformation to PT moving forward. Wonderful. Now, a little bit moving towards you as a personality, as a leadership, being at the helm. So, what makes you keep up to yourself, motivated, and always charged up? Because it is something that unless you decide as a leader, will not go further. If we decide at the top, it will not happen. That's the end of it, right? So, how do you manage that kind of a leadership pseudo responsibility, right?
I think sometimes goal setting really helps. If you have a roadmap, so at least to have some sort of framework, if it's a 3-year plan or a 1-year plan or a 5-year plan, it really helps stay motivated. And I think another thing that really helps is if you just sort of set your goals to be a little bit higher than
Stretched.
yeah, just stretch the goals that little bit extra. That really helps maintain that motivation, because if it's a 2x or a 3x goal hypothetically, or a 10x goal, at least you land up, even if you reach 50% of the way, you're still at 5x.
Yeah,
So I think that really helps goal setting, because without that framework, it's sometimes you feel like a headless chicken, and then
it's
you
like
don't really know what you're doing.
kind of lost
Yeah,
and just maybe flowing with the flow that you have.
right, right,
I find it as more of competing with self
right.
than competing with competition. I think that is the
Absolutely.
philosophy you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, each one has their own strengths and weaknesses. Each one has their own sort of, I guess even ambitions, so to speak. So it's difficult to compare with other, let's say, companies, even within the same industry, because everyone has a different culture, everyone has a different set of clients. Our challenges are different.
Mm,
So I think it's important to sort of stay focused on what we really want out of it, and should have a very unique and independent sort of roadmap or framework defined for each
yourself.
company, that yeah, for ourselves.
Good. So one more thought is where if we decide that okay, we have to do after 3 years, we have to reach say 100 crores or say 150 crores, 200 crores. Typically, some leaders believe that if we make it, if we write it that it is 100 crores, it will happen. So, do you? I see a smile on your face. But do you kind of believe that thought process of putting something like and telling it to the universe and then being committed to that? Is that something that resonates with you?
Um, sure. So I mean, we do have that sort of framework of a top line figure that's important. Lately, I've also, for the last couple of years, really begun to focus more also on the bottom line, because the
Okay.
top line has been something that used to be my sole focus for a good 10 years of my career.
Okay.
And up until when I realized that it's also important to price things correctly, to sort of course save on costs as well, but to also get your effort worth of value, I guess, built into the price of what we cater to the customer. So I think that has also become something that we focus on. And one way to do that is, I think, more and more value added products. So sometimes, for example, 100 crore company could well have a net profit which is lower than a 50 crore company, only because of
Sheer size or
yeah,
the way
the
that it is operated.
yeah, the thinking process, and the way they've sort of built their business and their product offering. So I
Mm.
think a little bit of that is also something that we are implementing now. We are also getting more and more into our own products with more value addition, and of course focus on exports is also something which is helpful to the business. So I think with this, the kind of product mix that we have now, we are looking very strongly at the bottom line, just as much as we do at the top line.
I think it's a great way to put it, where top line indeed is important, but as we focus more on bottom line, it is going to make the whole uh, the process end-to-end process as lean as well as more and more value adding by eliminating all the areas of cost which are large due to maybe the wastage that you have
Absolutely.
along the value chain.
Yeah.
Good, good. So, anything that you get into a habit of. Many people have this habit of having a bucket list. I want to do some 5, 10, 20 things. So, do you have something that you have in mind? Some 5, 10 things to tick.
At a personal level, personal bucket list.
Yeah, personal or maybe professional.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my personal bucket list items is I want to go camping.
Backpacking.
Yeah, actually backpacking. I want to actually go camping in an RV, a caravan,
Right.
and I want to do it with my family, of course, and actually pitch a tent in a wildlife national park and sort of spend a week there. So that's one of those things that I've thought a little bit more about during this lockdown, and hopefully once things go back to normal, whenever they do, I'll probably be able to do this.
Wonderful. And maybe a little bit more on that. But on behind this, person Pranav taking all the hardships, being always up to behind the targets, putting objectives. There is a creative mind, I believe, as Pranav. So how do you nurture that creative mind, the balance that you have?
So a lot of what I do at the moment, the creativity is restricted or limited by within the framework of work. So I guess we are always thinking of new products to enter. We are involving ourselves with better design of the product, and so I guess that involves that little bit of creativity. What can we offer to the market which isn't already there, or what can we offer that's already there but do it a little bit better?
Mm.
So I think that's kind of how I maybe utilize whatever creativity I may have.
Superb, superb. I think it is. It can go unending. But Pranav, I would like to ask maybe one of the last questions.
Sure.
Anything that you want to say? People are a little bit taking it where they are not looking at positive aspect. Maybe they don't see that end light at the end of the tunnel. So, any message that you want to give, Pranav, back to that community?
I mean, I think this is a very, very unprecedented and unique situation that we're all dealing with. So it's difficult times for everyone, and it's very normal to be anxious. But I think it's important to stay calm. It's important to stay with family, because I think there's a lot of strength that one can derive from that, and engage in those things which are in our control, and leave the things that aren't in our control to it's going to pass.
Yeah.
But I think staying at home, being healthy, focusing on exercising every day, maybe even doing some yoga or pranayam to stay calm. I think that's essential right now. And then I think also looking at some other things that one could help oneself develop on a personal front, because this is that one unique time in all of our lives that we've had to sort of step away from the day-to-day work and do something for ourselves. And I think this is an opportunity. So that's one positive way of looking at it.
Superb. So I wanted to really thank you, Pranav, for the time that you spent and great insights shared.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Wonderful. So we wish you on your personal side, all your bucket list gets completed. Whatever you said, go with a caravan with the family and spend that time, and more whatever bucket list that you have. On the professional front, we wish you a great success, a great expansion that you will see in business moving forward. Great business for the export and the new orders coming from China, and you grow multifold to really outgrow the horizons.
Thank you. All the best to you as well.
Thank you so much.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं। बुलंदियों को छूने की आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है, हर सही स्ट्रेटेजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं। स्त्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन।